They once said that Francesca Schiavone was born to stand on the sidelines. Too small, not glamorous enough to be the golden face of tennis. Critics insisted she would never get her hands on a Grand Slam trophy, especially after a string of crushing early career losses. But the Italian tennis player silenced every single one of those doubters at the 2010 Roland Garros, lifting a trophy that the entire world believed she would never hold. She went on to earn over $11 million in prize money and built a world-class restaurant in the heart of Milan. And even after her playing days ended, she won the most grueling final of her life, not on a clay court, but in a cancer ward where pain and chemotherapy ravaged her once powerful body. What transformed an ordinary girl from Milan into a champion in sports business and life itself is one of the most remarkable stories in the history of women's tennis. On June 23, 1980, in the scorching summer heat of Milan, Francesca Schiavone was born into a family that blended the traditions of both northern and southern Italy. Her father's roots came from Irpinia, a mountainous region in the province of Avellino, while her mother's side hailed from a small town near Brescia. Nobody in her family was a professional athlete, yet Francesca grew up surrounded by discipline and a deep love for sports. As a child in 1980s Milan, expensive athletic clubs were out of reach for most families, but that never stopped her. She was captivated watching amateur players swing their rackets on public clay courts, while other kids kicked soccer balls in the streets. Her first racket was borrowed from a nearby club, and sometimes replaced by homemade versions built from wood and nylon string. Her family recognized her serious dedication and began driving her to structured practice sessions on weekend mornings, where she learned footwork, shot power, and, most critically, how to stay calm when the pressure mounted. In January 1998, just after turning 17, Francesca won the Italian national championship for the under-18 age group. That title was more than a medal. It was a ticket that opened the door to professional tennis. Her early years on the WTA Tour were quiet. Grand Slam qualifying rounds often ended in swift defeat, and she lost her first 8 WTA finals, a stretch that would have broken most players. But Francesca treated every loss as a lesson and every season as an opportunity to sharpen her game. Between 2000 and 2004, she began making her presence felt internationally, reaching the quarterfinals at both Roland Garros and the U.S. Open. In 2007, after nearly a decade of relentless perseverance, she finally claimed her first WTA singles title in Bad Gastein, Austria. That confidence carried over to the Italian Fed Cup team, which she helped lead to 3 team titles in 2006, 2009, and 2010, while setting the all-time record for most match wins in the team's history. The peak of her career arrived in Paris in the spring of 2010. On the red clay of Roland Garros, Francesca defeated Samantha Stosur 6-4, 7-6 in the final, becoming the first Italian woman ever to win a Grand Slam singles title. She was also the last player to win a women's Grand Slam using a one-handed backhand, a technique both rare and breathtaking. The following year, she reached that same final again, losing to Lina, but cementing her reputation as one of the most dangerous clay court players in the world. In January 2011, she climbed to a career-high world ranking of number 4. That same year, at the Australian Open, she defeated Svetlana Kuznetsova 6-4, 1-6, 16-14 in a match that lasted 4 hours and 44 minutes, the longest women's singles match in Grand Slam history. Francesca's financial story is equally impressive. Over $11 million in prize money, combined with sponsorship deals, exhibition events, and brand partnerships, gave her a rock-solid financial foundation. Rather than chasing flashy purchases, she invested wisely and lived with refined taste in Milan's Navigli district, a neighborhood where ancient canals wind past art galleries and boutique restaurants. Her apartment is in a restored historic building with exposed brick walls and a minimalist interior. She also owns a quiet retreat in Tuscany, a small house tucked among vineyards with an olive garden and a wide porch. Her most prized investment is the bistro she co-runs overlooking the Naviglio Grande Canal, a small, elegant space with a carefully curated menu of traditional Italian dishes prepared with a creative modern twist. Her regular clientele includes artists, entrepreneurs, and fellow athletes. When it comes to cars, she drives a navy blue Maserati Levant an Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, and a compact electric Fiat 500 for city use. Practical, Italian, and sharp. In late 2019, Francesca revealed she had been diagnosed with cancer. For 7 months, she endured chemotherapy and physical exhaustion that pushed her to her lowest point. She later admitted that every title and every record felt insignificant compared to the single goal of survival. When she announced she was cancer-free, she called it the most precious victory of her life, one that gave her the chance to keep writing her story. After recovery, she founded the Schiavone Team Lab in Milan in 2022, a tennis academy that blends technical coaching with mental strength training and core life values like discipline, perseverance, and teamwork. She coached Petra Martic in 2021, and in 2025 began mentoring Lily Tagger, the young Austrian who won the French Open Juniors title. Francesca Schiavone was never the athlete who built her image on glamorous magazine covers or celebrity headlines. She built it through courage, skill, and an unbreakable spirit. The cancer that threatened to end everything became the catalyst that made her fight harder than ever. Today, she is not just a name attached to a legendary one-handed backhand. She is a symbol of resilience, refinement, and purpose, proof that a champion's greatest victory is not a trophy, but the ability to turn every single setback into the next step forward.